right, we've made it. Time for your project introduction, Assemblage sculptures. So for your project, you're going to create an assemblage sculpture using found objects and materials. And the idea is, if you haven't gotten it already from Assemblage, is how can we take images and objects that we have connotations already for and combine them together to create new meanings or something unexpected. Right? Some people will call assemblage junk art, and I use that term affectionately. Right? The weirder, the better. Really go crazy. This is a unique opportunity that we all have, strange and individual items around us, to put them together and to create something new and beautiful. You can use collage or other two-dimensional elements, meaning drawing, paint, text, surface design. You can use that as much or as little as you like, meaning you can make an assemblage that truly is very sculptural and is mostly just relying on the objects itself, or you can do something that is more like a three-dimensional collage where you're using objects but they're a lower relief, so they're more flat, and you're combining them together and then maybe painting, drawing, adding collage as well. So the first thing you got to do is just see what your options are and collect materials. So given that we are in a unique remote learning situation, you need to know what you have. So your first task for the day is to just go on a scavenger hunt around your house, in your garages, outside, maybe down the block, don't go too far maybe, and gather at least 15 different things. Certainly you can have more. I wouldn't recommend having anything less than 10, particularly not if you're not thrilled about those 10 items. Me giving you a number isn't so much like just to please me, it's just that I'm hoping that the more options you have, the more you'll find things that can really go together and that will excite you. If you're looking at your pile of things and you're not excited by anything, then continue to collect. And this could be anything from a rock outside to newspapers to a reusable tote bag to an old pair of jeans that you know you're not going to wear, to a pot, to things that are edible like oranges and lemons, really anything. An old appliance, that's a good one. Just go around on a scavenger hunt and collect at least 15 materials. Once you've gathered your pile of things, then you'll take a picture of all of those objects and upload a picture onto Cholagnet under assignments. Here's a list of things that you might use. In the blue column are some more two-dimensional materials, so magazines, newspapers, paint, drawing materials, construction paper, ink, pen, Sharpie pencils, markers, photographs, foil, plastic wrap, and then on the right are some more three-dimensional, a little bit more three-dimensional objects, so fabric scraps, cardboard, hardware, toothpicks, twigs, leaves, appliances, dirt, food, bottles, glass or plastic, appliances, keys, dolls, stuffed animals, cords, light bulbs, brushes, cans, plates, cups. Of course, this is not a full list, but these are just the things I could think of. Hopefully, get your brain going. Now, this is where things get a little more challenging. I want you to come up with what I'm calling a topic sentence. So take a look at your items and start to arrange them. So maybe look for things that might go together, or maybe you make little piles of things that contrast each other. So start grouping your things together, thinking about how they could work together to make some sort of sculpture or assemblage or collage. And then, when you're looking at your piles, then try to write a sentence or some sort of story or scene for how these might be connected. So, as an example, some of the sentences that I come up with are the morning bustle, cats meowing, kettle whistling, blanket on the floor, and sun rising. And I might include elements like a blanket or broken teacups or coffee grounds, one of my cat's toys. That might be something that I would come up with from that grouping. I once had a dream I was flying over a red lake. I turned around and realized I was leading a flock of tiny birds. This is from a dream that I had. So I might get some bird feathers, maybe some twigs from outside, Maybe I want to use the color red, so maybe I have some fabric that is red. Maybe I want to use some newspapers, so on and so forth. You don't have to write a full-on story. Think about what works best for you. So it can be a scene, a sentence, or a story. The reason why we're doing this in reverse, normally I have you come up with a concept and then get your items. This time I want you to have your items and have your concept stem from that, because you can really only make things with the things you have, right? If you need to add more items because you're really excited about your idea, then go and find more items to add. Certainly you can do that. But I'm going to ask that you write down your sentences on a sketchbook page, not in a Google Doc. Give yourself lots of options. I would say 3 is always a wonderful number, but as you're generating more and more ideas, feel free to scratch out the ones that you don't like. But it's definitely better to have more and then narrow it down. That you'll want to do today is fill out the Google Form exit ticket. So once you've collected your items, sorted them, brainstormed topic sentences, going back and forth, hopefully trying to get an idea of which one it is that you want to use. Once you've done that, at the end of the block, you're going to fill out this, and it just asks for your name, the topic sentence that you generated during class, and which one you feel most excited about. I'll be sure to give each one of you feedback about your topic sentence. Then how did material collection go? So did you feel that you found enough items? Do you need maybe some suggestions for your items? What do you have so far? And then the last thing is any questions or concerns that you have, write them down there and I'll get back to you. And if you need any general suggestions or feedback, or whatever would be helpful to you at this time. My goal is that after reading the feedback that I give you and by the end of this class, you have a pretty good idea of maybe where you want to go for next class. And next class will kind of figure out the final details of where your project is going to go.